So, how lucky we are, first, before we begin Bhagavatam, to come into the association of devotees. When we read scriptures, हमें जब भगवद गीता का ज्ञान होता है, then we find out, we come to an understanding, there are problems in this world. How many of us knew what are the problems of this world before attending Bhagavad Gita session? Real problems I am talking about. Actually, I can tell about myself. मुझे कोई idea नहीं था. Before that, I thought this life is to enjoy and trying to enjoy and struggling to get enjoyment and sense gratification, isn't it? But then when we come and understand Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 problems. What are they? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Birth, death, old age and disease. No one can avoid it. There are problems. On top of that, we learn these 4 problems. On top, उससे end नहीं होता problem. उससे क्या होता है? There are 3 more problems. What are they? Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik. Material miseries caused by one's own mind, miseries caused by other people, other living entities, and problems caused by natural calamities. Hot, cold, earthquake, what not. Okay? So we are in a world where there are problems. 4 problems are there, 3 problems are there. On top of that, उससे end होता है क्या? On top of that, so much struggles of life, isn't it? Workplace issues, होता है ना? Relationship issues, होता है. Sometimes here we have neighbor issues. यहाँ पे गाड़ी क्यों पार्क किया? When are you going to move? Don't make noise. So many temple, we have neighbor issues, workplace issues, relationship issues, financial issues. है कोई problem वाला? होता है ना? Interest rate goes high without even planning. So many. On top of that, government, कुछ policy change कर दिया, ये हो गया. Visa issues, PR issues, होता है. Prabhu is getting married in couple of months, and he was telling me visa issues. It takes 1 year for the wife to come and join the husband. कैसी दुनिया है ये? On top of that, weather issues, extreme hot, extreme cold, especially Melbourne, change of weather. देखो अभी हमारे भक्ति वृक्षा हम जब भी मिलते हैं ना तो ये नॉर्मल है. Demigods come, sometimes demigod showers flowers, sometimes demigod put showers. तो होता रहता है. But we are very blessed in our, isn't it? हाँ बोलो यार, नए लोग हैं. So this all things happens, and on top of that, see 4 problems, 3 problems. On top of that, all these workplace problems, relationship problems, financial problems, government problems, weather problems, all these things. On top of that, when we come into bhakti, हम भक्ति में आते हैं, माला शुरू करते हैं, भगवद गीता पढ़ते हैं, आरती कीर्तन अटेंड करते हैं. उसके बाद क्या होता है? हमें पता चलता है कि these problems are not only limited to outside, but the problems are inside also. What are they? Lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, madness, काम, क्रोध, मोह. बाहर तो इतना भी था, उसको बचने के लिए माला पकड़ा. जब शास्त्र खोल के देखा तो प्रॉब्लम अंदर भी है. बाप रे, कहाँ जाएंगे? हम कैसे सिचुएशन में है? What kind of circumstance we are surrounded by, isn't it? And before coming to Krishna consciousness, or if you meet someone outside, materialistic person or some your work colleague or someone, they would never think that greed is a problem. वो तो normal है. To have more money in life, if you achieve something, to have that pride, people think this is normal. But devotee community, we think that's a problem. And we have to overcome that also. So, on top of that, more and more problem. And within devotee community also, हम सुनते हैं, Krishna will test a devotees. कुछ आसान नहीं है. Krishna tested Prabhupada. Krishna didn't arrange business class sitting in a flight. Prabhupada had to go through in a Jaladuta. On top of that, he did not give the smooth sailing. The sea was very rough. Heart attack. Prabhupada writes, if you read his diaries, oh my God, it's shocking. So much problem. Krishna tests his devotees. Even after going to America, so much of problems. So much of testing. In our life also. होता है ना? भक्तों की लाइफ में टेस्टिंग. कृष्णा, इमेजिन डिवोटीज, क्या हो रहा है बाहर की दुनिया में, सब जगह अंदर, अपने अंदर भी प्रॉब्लम्स. ऑन टॉप ऑफ द टेस्ट ऑफ द डिवोटी. Are we going to fight all these problems alone? कर सकते हैं क्या? If a person is saying, उस फाइट से बचने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं? We come into the association of devotees. Now, this is the association of devotees. Coming into association of devotees, also there are 3 different categories of devotees. Senior devotee, junior devotee, equal devotee. अपना सिमिलर लेवल पे, ठीक है. सीनियर डिवोटी, अपना इतना प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है, स्ट्रगल चल रहा है, चैंटिंग में, सेवा में, साधना में, सम रिलेशनशिप, डिवोटी विद इन कम्युनिटी ऑल्सो, सो मेनी इश्यूज गोइंग ऑन. कैन वी डिस्कस ओपनली एवरीथिंग विथ आवर सीनियर्स? कोई महाराज है, कोई ब्रह्मचारी, सब कुछ दिल खोल के आराम से बता सकता है? हाँ, नहीं हो सकता ना. वी कांट ओपन अप. हम ये क्या सोचेंगे, मैं ऐसा हूँ, हमारा जो इंप्रेशन है इनके सामने कि मैं प्योर डिवोटी हूँ, धोती कुर्ता कंठी माला तिलक सबके साथ, और मैं बोलूँगा कि मेरे भी दिमाग में ऐसे ऐसे ख्याल आते हैं, क्या सोचेंगे महाराज? वी कांट ओपन अप फुल्ली इन फ्रंट ऑफ महाराज सीनियर्स. कैन वी ओपन अप फुल्ली अवर हार्ट इन फ्रंट ऑफ जूनियर्स? भक्ति वृक्षा मेंबर्स जो हम ट्रेन करते हैं किसी को, और वी आर मेंबर्स एंड वी आर गाइडिंग सम वर्क कलीग, उनको बोल सकते हैं कि मेरा भी चैंटिंग में वांदा है, मेरा भी दिमाग ऐसा ऐसे घूमता है जब मैं माला पकड़ता हूँ. कैन वी ओपन अप फुल्ली इन आवर जूनियर्स? Imagine dear devotees what I am telling. बाहर भी इतना प्रॉब्लम, अंदर भी इतना प्रॉब्लम, within Krishna is also testing, within devotee communities also, seniors, juniors, we can't open up, and that's why association of equal minded devotees is very essential. That's the place, and this is that association where we can open up our heart. कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, no one is going to judge us, no one is going to blame us. कोई बोलेगा नहीं ये तो ऐसा है, ये ऐसा. दिल खोल के आराम से जो भी प्रॉब्लम है we can talk, discuss, and that is the only thing that will help us to uplift and progress in bhakti. बाकी सब ठीक है, होगा, हेल्प होगा शास्त्रों में ये सब. Unless and until we share bodhayantah parasparam guhyamti akyanti prachyati, so many verses are there where we open up, share our heart, and we can clear our doubts. And then it will help us. Doubt clear होगा. Arjun क्या होता है? Arjun was in a doubtful situation before the Bhagavad Gita. When the doubt gets clear, yatra yogeshwara Krishna, tatra partho dhanurjana, tatra shri vijayor bhutir. Victory comes when the doubt is cleared. So in our life also, our devotional life also, the doubt can be cleared in the association of devotees. And this is what it is. ऐसा, and that's why I said before beginning, I don't want to make it like a katha or one way when I sit on a sofa. 2 people are fanning chamar, ऐसे ऐसे लगाएंगे, मेरे पादुकास के सामने flowers होगा. It's not that. We are all on an equal platform where we are all trying to go closer to Krishna, and we are having some kind of struggle, some kind of challenges in life where we can open up, share, and then learn from each other. Make sense? कुछ गलती हो तो correct कर देना. I am like a newbie in bhakti. Anyone wants to share your experience of what I thought? Everyone agrees or not? Pehle, yes. Anyone don't agree, don't have struggle in life, then that person should be sitting here. I would sit there if there are no struggles. Chalo, so yes, I had Saturday night, matlab this Sunday morning, 12 baje. I had a class in Gujarat. I was speaking of Bhagavad Gita. Gita Jayanti is tomorrow. Ekadashi is Gita Jayanti, the day Bhagavad Gita was spoken. And I said it's very important to come into the satsang of devotees, because when we come into the satsang and when we do prayers, Krishna listens to our prayers, because the association of devotees have some power. And I told all the Gujarati, the people online, that जनता जिसकी सुनते हैं वो संसद में बैठते हैं. जनता जिसकी सुनती है वो संसद में बैठते हैं. पीपल किसकी सुनते हैं? गवर्नमेंट की. गवर्नमेंट क्या में संसद में होते हैं. जनता जिसकी सुनती है वो संसद में बैठते हैं. भगवान जिनकी सुनते हैं वो सत्संग में बैठते हैं. एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कम इन द सत्संग, इन द एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटीज. कोई तो वाह वाह बोलो यार. कल गुजराती लोग बहुत वाह वाह बोल रहे थे. Sorry, just joking. Okay, let's begin. don't, मैं serious कथाकार नहीं हूँ. I am so sorry. So you have to force yourself to laugh just to be so that you fit in this group. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्री सादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Alright, so we are beginning our discussion today from Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter number 15 and text number which one? Sorry, मैं भूल भी गया. 36, huh? I forgot my glasses. I am using my wife's glasses as well. Okay, text 36 we are starting today. Yada mukundo bhagavani mam mahim. You want to repeat? Maybe one sloka we all can repeat, no? Yada mukundo bhagavani mam mahim. Jaho swatanva shrivannya satkatha. Tada hareva pratibudha chetasam. Abhadra hetu kaliran vavartata.
Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna left this earthly planet in his self-same form. From that very day, Kali, who had already partially appeared, became fully manifest to create inauspicious conditions for those who are endowed with a poor fund of knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So we are discussing this pastime when Pandavas retire timely, and what happens where we are in this. Arjun goes to Dwarka, he is not returning. Yudhishthir Maharaj is observing the bad signs. He is talking to Bhima that there is a disruptions in seasons behavior. People have started, the cheating, fraud mentality has started. There are so many bad signs, and Yudhishthir Maharaj is suspecting that Krishna must have departed from this planet, and that's why all these bad signs are there. After 7 months, Arjuna went to Dwarka. He comes back and Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking him, Kya ho gaya? Why are you sad? What is the reason of your grief and sorrow? And then he is asking so many questions. Were you not able to feed a hungry person? Were you not able to take care of the citizens? What was the reason? So many different things. After that, in the beginning of this chapter, Arjun starts speaking. And then he is telling that how Krishna has departed. And Arjun, with gratefulness in the heart, he is remembering all different pastimes, how Krishna was present with him in all the different situations with the Pandavas. And now Arjuna is saying that that Krishna has finally departed. And then Sutta Goswami is continuing to mention all these things to Saunaka Rishi. Okay? So this particular section talks how Krishna departed from this planet. Departing of Krishna from the planet is equal to, the analogy is given that how sun sets. We have seen many times that sun is gone, that doesn't mean sun is gone. Sun has gone from one place to another. Kahin or he is there. It's not that the sun is completely gone. In the same way, when Krishna departs from this planet, that means Krishna has gone from this particular earthly planet. Unka jo lila hai, pastime hai, that is finished, and then he is going to some other planet. So that is being mentioned here. Krishna is just going in his self-same body. Not like us, where we are changing the body. Atma jati hai, sharir nash ho jata hai. Krishna is going in the self-same body. It is mentioned that there are some people who want to enjoy separate from God. भगवान से अलग रह के किसी को some people who wants to enjoy this life. And Krishna, what does Krishna do if someone wants to enjoy separate from him? Krishna facilitates that. Krishna gives knowledge, Krishna gives remembrance, and Krishna gives forgetfulness also. किसी को भगवान को भूल के आध्यात्मिक जगत स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड से मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में आना है, Krishna helps them to forget that God exists and you are part and parcel of God, so that a person can enjoy. देखो कितने दयालु है भगवान. How Lord is merciful that my child, you want to enjoy separate from me, you want to forget me, okay, I bless you that you forget me, so that you can enjoy in this material world. It is by Krishna's blessing. And those kind of people, to facilitate their understanding that जब कृष्णा आते हैं, they think that वो तो एक just जादूगर है, or he is a person with some yogi, mayavi special powers he has. So, and that's why they don't believe in Krishna. Yeah? Have you met someone who don't believe in God? बहुत सारे है ना. Now, how to facilitate? If Krishna is behaving like a God, and at the last moment when he is departing from this world, he will come on a Pushpa Viman, a chariot Pushpa Viman will come from the celestial plains, and Krishna sits in that. Garuda will come, and then he is going. Then these people, they have no choice other than believing Krishna is God. So to facilitate their belief that Krishna is not God, Krishna does this pastime of departing from this planet by shooting the arrow of a hunter, getting on his leg, on his feet, and then departing from this planet. Dekho, this whole pastime of Krishna departing is for the people who don't believe in God, and for them to understand. Actually, in 11th canto, 31st chapter, disappearance of Lord Shri Krishna, very nicely it is described. बहुत ही सुंदर. When Krishna is departing, this whole particular pastime happens. All this Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, along with Mother Parvati, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Apsaras, celestial demigods, everyone comes. And it is said that the sky was full of celestial planes, because all these demigods are coming and the sky was full of them, because it's time of Krishna's departing from this planet. And they all come, they all put shower of flowers, not like our shower, shower of flowers. And everyone is present, they are doing prayers. At that time, what does Krishna do? He closes his eyes. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that everyone present, कोई demigod door knock कर रहा होगा, everyone present were thinking that Krishna is finishing his pastime in this earthly planet and Krishna should come to my planet. All the demigods, they were in different अलग-अलग लोका, अलग-अलग planet में हैं, और सब लोग चाहते थे that Krishna, now he is going somewhere, वो हमारे planet में आए. Just like Bendigo devotees come, they are always in a demand. Some devotees say हमारे घर पे आओ, ओजस्वी प्रभु says हमारे घर पे आना है, शशि प्रभु says हमारे घर पे आना है, I come last in the queue, हमारे घर पे आना है. And there is so much of obligation. And then अंशुल प्रभु और अरुणा माता जी कहाँ जाए, प्रभु जी टाइम भी लिमिटेड है, हम कहाँ जा सकते हैं. Just like that, Krishna is in this, all the demigods, Brahma, Shiva, Parvati, and everyone wants Krishna to come to their planet. And that's why Krishna closes his eyes. Two reasons. Krishna closes his eyes and meditates on himself. Prabhupada writes in the purport, 2 paragraphs. The first paragraph, Krishna feels इतना सारा obligations है सबको, मैं कैसे, social obligation, Prabhupada uses the word, so much of social obligation, अभी किस का obligation fulfill करेंगे. So that's why Krishna closes his eyes just to go away from these obligations of all the demigods. And the second reason Krishna closes his eyes and meditates on himself is, Prabhupada writes that he's teaching that at the last moment we should be meditating on Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Abhi Krishna ke liye to, how can he meditate on someone else? So Krishna meditates on himself. That doesn't mean me also meditate on our own self. the lesson to learn is to meditate on Lord Shri Krishna. Krishna is meditating on himself because he is Supreme Lord, and we also antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samudbhavam yati nati atra shanshaya. We also meditate on Krishna. So this beautiful this pastime is mentioned in the 11th canto 31st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. ठीक है, let's go. Sorry, I think it's like a temple class. One Bhagavatam, 1 hour. 37. Who wants? Anshul Prabhu, you want to read 37? No, you just read. We will not repeat, otherwise it will go time. Fatafat.
पुरे च राष्ट्रे च गृहे तथात्मनि विभाव्य लोकानृतजिहिं हिंसना दिया अधर्म चक्रम गमनाय पर्यथा. Translation by Divine Grace Bhakti. Maharaj Yudhishthira was intelligent enough to understand the influence of the age of Kali, characterized by increasing avarice, falsehood, cheating, and violence throughout the capital, state, home, and among individuals. So he wisely prepared himself to leave home, and he dressed accordingly.
So Maharaj Yudhishthira, what is happening? He is intelligent enough to understand the influence of the age of Kali. Kali Yuga is progressing. In the previous verse we saw that partially already Kali Yuga has started, and when Krishna departed in full form. And here Maharaj Yudhishthira was intelligent enough to understand that Kali Yuga has begun. And now he wisely prepared himself to leave home, and he dressed accordingly. It is said that he takes sannyas. Immediately, at once, he changes the dress. Renounce. Kiski baat kar rahe hai? Yudhishthira Maharaj, king of the whole world. King of the whole world renounces everything at once. Prabhupada writes in the purport that why Yudhishthira Maharaj is renouncing, to set up an example, the standard for everyone, because he is the king. The whole citizens, the whole world is watching him. So at once, not being attached to the palace, the royal life, the kingdom, he renounces everything to set up a standard for all of us, for everyone and all the citizens of his kingdom. That one, Prabhupada writes, one should not rot in the dark well of household life till the last minute when Yamraj is coming to drag him. One must utilize. Prabhupada writes in the purport that one must, whenever Yudhishthira Maharaj saw that the young fellow, Parikshit Maharaj, is ready to rule, he renounces. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that at least for last 15 to 20 years of life, our focus, full focus should be spirituality. We have to this is non-negotiable. Prabhupada uses the word non-negotiable, that we have to plan in such a way that 15 to 20 years last life we are fully focused. Here Yudhishthira Maharaj is noticing that Kali Yuga is progressing. Yes, Mother.
How do we decide 15-20 years, Prabhu? And at the same time, like, do we say 50 because what has happened in past, of course, the things were different. Like, children will, the adults will get married early, they will have children early, and then 50, of course, they will get married. Okay. Nowadays, people get married at 30, 40,
Correct.
Children are late. Then by the time they retire, by the time they're 60, they still have the responsibilities. So it's, like, what should be the cutoff, or should we be in the spirituality as we say, young age, go into spirituality?
Everyone got the point? Yeah. How do we know? Everyone's question. And how do we know कि last 15 साल कौन से हैं? And how do we know that how to plan like that? Because all our responsibilities. अगर पता भी चल गया कि आज से लेके 20 years is there, but what about the duties? What about the responsibilities? Getting married to the kids, उनको शादी भी करवाना है, ये घर का responsibility fulfill करना है. Then how do we decide? कैसे करेगा?
And what does the renunciation mean in this age?
So here Yudhishthira Maharaj is taking the sannyas. Does that mean कि छोड़ो घर बार, चलो हरिद्वार? So the practical application for this is tivrena bhakti yogena. Apna bhakti, it has to be tivra in such a way that we are doing at our level best. Bhakti doesn't mean running away from the duties or the responsibilities, but whatever we are doing, are we doing at our level best? That is more important. For Yudhishthir Maharaj, Prabhupada mentions few different things. For Yudhishthir Maharaj, it was necessary, but for us, he has to take sannyas because Prabhupada explains very beautifully in the purport that how he could do this. Because he has been trained and he has learned this from his forefathers. He is coming from that dynasty that everyone has done that at particular time, and he is teaching saying क्या होता है उसके बाद Parikshit Maharaj is the king. At once Parikshit Maharaj also, when he comes to know कि 7 दिन बाकी है, एकदम से renounces everything. So because he is setting the standard for the future generation, and he has been trained from the forefathers as well. So for him, taking sannyas was required. Prabhupada explains all these things nicely. But for us, wherever we are, we have to perform at our level best. और वो best क्या है अपना? Are we performing? Only 2 people know. Our own self and Lord Shri Krishna as a Paramatma in the heart. Do we have a time to chant every day? Do we have a time to chant or read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, associate with devotees, Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Vash, Shri Murti Seva? Are we doing association of devotees either online or once in a week in person in Bhakti Vriksha? Sadhu Sang, Nam Kirtan, are we doing Kirtan? Are we participating in Kirtan? Are we chanting every day? We know, Lord Shri Krishna knows, हमारे पास टाइम है कि नहीं. अगर एक्सक्यूज ढूंढना है तो 1000 है, लेकिन कमिटमेंट, I can tell you, so many devotees going through so many challenges in life, so many commitments, but somehow they make it happen. Prabhupada, whether he was waiting कि मुझे फ्लाइट का टिकट मिलेगा तो जाएंगे. If करना है तो बस करना है. Somehow we make it happen. Chanting करना है, साधु संग, नाम कीर्तन, भागवत श्रवण, reading scriptures, hearing. How much are we blessed? So many lectures, so great devotees are available in the YouTube, on the phone, everywhere. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Vas. Mathura Vas means staying in the Dham. Is it practically possible for us to stay in the Dham? In the same way, Yudhishthir Maharaj is taking sannyas. It is practically possible for us to take sannyas right now. So Mathura Vas means we don't go and stay in the Dham, but wherever we are, if we are in Melbourne, whenever the opportunity comes, we go and take darshan. Come to the temple. Whenever possible, we, in Bendigo, if you have Gaurnitai there, we come and take darshan. Regularly come to the Bhakti Vriksha. That is part of Mathura Vas. At least vicinity, nearby to the devotees, nearby to the temple, nearby where the deities are. And why? That comes to the 5th. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Vas, Shri Murti Seva. Because when we are in the vicinity nearby of the devotees, temple, bhakti, devotion, so that we can do devotional service. Seva hum karna hai. If we are doing this 5, then we are, no matter wherever we are, whatever stage we are at, we are working, we are maintaining our household responsibilities, but it's equivalent to Yudhishthir Maharaj taking sannyas. Make sense? Now, Yudhishthir Maharaj is here observing. मेरे आगे है ना अच्छे हम्बल बन जाते हैं, गिर जाते हैं. माइक स्टैंड भी ऐसा गिरता रहता है. भागवतम सुन के सब लोग हम्बल बन जाते हैं ना. युधिष्ठिर महाराज इज ऑब्जर्विंग. क्या लिखा है इधर? Yudhishthir Maharaj was intelligent enough to understand the influence of the age of Kali. Do we also understand the influence of age of Kali? Do we experience? क्या हमें लगता है कलियुगा बढ़ रहा है? Have we seen any symptoms? हाँ, who would like to say? Yes, सुशीला माता जी.
बच्चों को देख के.
वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. This is Vaishnava Aparad. So nice kids we have. Of course, some other kids जो शॉपिंग सेंटर में वो क्या बोलते हैं? मशेटी. मैंने सोचा मर्सिडीज. एक्चुअली अभी एक भी हुआ ना, one teenager was driving a car inside the shopping center. ओ माय गॉड, हाँ वो बच्चों को देख के यस एग्री थैंक यू सॉरी हाँ सो मेनी किड्स. अभी बाहर जाके देखो बड़ा बड़ा क्रिसमस का वो क्या नहीं खाना चाहिए ऐसे बड़े बड़े बोर्ड लगाते हैं. इफ यू गो आउट ऑन द रेस्टोरेंट्स क्या मिलता है खाना, मेन्यूज इफ यू सी, the people's dressing style, the people's language, what they speak, the way they wear, if they wear any cloth, क्या क्या चल रहा है बाहर. Do we experience the age of Kali? What is Kali Yuga? Prayana alpayusya sabya kalau asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadruta. Prayana alpayusya sabya. People's duration of life is shortened, decreased. Prayana alpayusya sabya. But people's intelligence is decreased. People quarrel. कितने quarrelsome हो गए. कुछ नहीं होता बात में. There is nothing. But people start fighting. Within house, outside house, with the neighbors. Some countries are fighting. Everywhere there is quarrel. Do we experience this Kali Yuga? Once and Krishna, thank you. आगे आओ please come. आपके लिए मैंने जगह छोड़ा है. We have reserved seats for everyone. So आपका नाम इधर है. Once Yudhishthir Maharaj was not there and 4 Pandavas were there. Arjuna, Bhima, Nakul and Sahadeva. And for them to think about Kali Yuga, it was very difficult. Even 70 years back किसी को बोलो कि पानी की बोतल, प्लास्टिक की बोतल में पानी बिकेगा. It's just impossible. Some, you know, if you have heard recently, this Coles, the bread they say they advertise baked today, sold today. Did you see in the news? That bread was cooked 12 months back in China, 70% cooked. They were transported by the ship because they have preservatives, सब कुछ डाल के, and 70% cooked. They come to Australia, they goes into the Coles bakery, Coles है बोल, sorry if Coles CEO is listening, and research करना Google में, and the remaining 20-30% they were baking here after so many months, and they were advertising baked today, sold today. Google it. These are the.
Not only that, all the fruits and fresh produce, they are sitting at least 6 months in the store.
Fresh food people will announce करते हैं ना हम, fresh food people. कितने टाइम पे होता है?
4 to 6 months.
6 months. पुराने this we are talking when Yudhishthir Maharaj उस टाइम पे fresh food, fresh apple का मतलब क्या था? पेड़ से. And if it's 6 hours or 10 hours later, that means वो वासी हो गया. That is old. People used to. And अभी हमारा क्या हो रहा है? If you see the potato chips, these things we are eating, कब का होगा? Years that potato in the cold storage. Years and years we are talking. Do you see the symptoms? On ये तो सिर्फ वेजिटेरियन की बात कर रहे हैं. अभी दूसरी साइड पे जाएंगे तो लोग क्या क्या खाते हैं. That is mind blowing.
The concept is probably they stop the activity. So temperatures are, means for each particular food they have figured out at what temperature it will stop any activity, and they will keep that for how long they want it there based upon the production and cycle, and they will start processing it.
When they advertise, you know, the fresh food, कुछ होता है क्या fresh? If you go on the shelf, the packaging, 1 year expiry, 2 year expiry dates of all the things, and they advertise. Even in the healthy section of the, we are not going to the junk food section. Even in the healthy section of that. Agree or not? And this is the Kali Yuga. एक बार क्या हुआ? I'll tell you the story. Krishna, this Bhima, Arjuna, Nakul and Sahadev, they are asking Krishna कि आजकल के ज़माने में अभी going forward, why this Mahapurusha, the more and more avatars are not coming, and Krishna says because Kali Yuga is starting and Kali Yuga is going to come, and the Pandavas, they are thinking ये Kali Yuga क्या होता है? What is that Kali Yuga? उसमें क्या होगा? And Krishna says, you want to know? And सारे Pandavas, you know, all 4, yes, मुझे बताओ हमें क्या होता है? Krishna takes the bow and releases 4 arrows. 1 arrow north, east, south, west. 4 दिशा में 4 arrow डालता है Krishna. And then he tells to each of the Pandava, Arjun, you go and get that arrow. Bhima, you go and get that arrow. Nakul, you go and get that arrow. Sahadev, you go and get the fourth arrow. And you will observe what Kali Yuga is. When Arjuna is going to get the first arrow, वो जिस दिशा में arrow गया वहाँ पे he goes and picks the arrow. When Arjuna is going to pick the arrow, he hears a sweet singing cuckoo bird. इतना अच्छा भजन गा रहा है. That bird is singing Lord's bhajans, kirtan very nicely, very sweet, इतना मधुर. So Arjuna is trying to find out, ये bird कहाँ पे है? Which is that bird? Where is this beautiful bhajan is being sung? Nice kirtan is happening. And he's trying to find that bird. And when Arjuna was able to find that bird, he looks that the bird is singing beautiful bhajans. Simultaneously, at the same time while singing, he is pecking the flesh of a live rabbit. Live rabbit ka, he's pecking and eating the flesh, that bird. And Arjuna gets a big shock. ये क्या हो रहा है इधर? इतना भजन गा रहा है, इतना अच्छा सुंदर गा रहा है. And he's like singing and then pecking the live rabbit. The rabbit was in so much pain and eating the flesh. And Arjuna runs away from that, goes back to Krishna, picks the arrow and runs back. And the direction where Bhima went. When Bhima goes, he's looking for the arrow. And where he finds the arrow, there were 5 wells. 5 kuएं थे. There were 5 wells. The 4 wells, and there was one in the middle. The 4 wells on the side, and there was one well in the middle. The 4 wells were full of sweet water. पूरा भरा हुआ था. They were kind of overflowing. And the middle well was empty. उसमें पानी का एक drop भी नहीं था. And at the same place, there are 4 wells on the side, 1 well in the middle, and that was empty. And Bhima gets confused. ये क्या हो रहा है? I have never even believed, never even can think of like this happen. कि 4 कुएं पूरे भरे हुए side में, that are surrounded, and the middle one is empty. And Bhima also goes back, picks up that arrow, goes back to Krishna. Then comes Nakul. Nakul जहाँ पे गया था, वहाँ पे he says he is looking at one cow is giving a birth to the calf. Is about to give, and the cow is giving the birth to a baby cow, the calf. And when the calf is born, what does mother cow does? Licks the baby calf to clean the skin. Mother cow is licking the skin of a baby calf. Lick करते जा रही है. Cow is licking so much. Skin clean भी हो गया, but cow's tongue is sharp. If you have fed laddus, you would have realized sharp होता है. It's peeling, scratching the skin of a calf, and the blood is coming out. The calf is badly injured, but the cow is still licking. And Nakul gets big shock and big confusion, and he picks up that arrow and runs back to Krishna. And finally comes, कौन बचा? Sahadev. The Sahadev is going to pick the arrow, and where he goes, he sees, it was near to the mountain, he sees a big boulder. The big boulder is dropping, falling from the top of the mountain. वो गिर के इतना तेजी से, big boulder is coming down from the mountain and it's crushing everything in the middle. बड़े बड़े जो stones आते हैं, trees आते हैं, everything, the plants, everything, animals, everything is being crushed on the way when the big boulder is dropping from the mountain. But Sahadev sees the big boulder is dropping, and at one point एक छोटा सा plant है, very small plant, and the big boulder is stopped. बड़े बड़े trees आते हैं, बड़े बड़े stones आते हैं, nothing is blocking, but एक छोटा सा plant आता है, and the big stone is blocked by that. And he also, Sahadev gets confused and he goes back to Krishna. And all the 4 Pandavas, how this happened? They asked the question, how is Kali Yuga? What is Kali Yuga? We want to understand. And they all come back to Krishna. And then they say, we saw this. Krishna, please explain what is the meaning behind this. So now Krishna is giving the answer. First to Arjuna. Kya dekha? What did Arjuna saw? Cuckoo bird singing bhajans. Very nice, very beautiful. But what was cuckoo bird doing? Pecking the flesh of a rabbit. Krishna says, this is how Kali Yuga will be. Sadhu, Sant, Dhongi, Babas, Yogis, they will have all the scripture knowledge. They will be singing bhajans. But when a devotee, like a rabbit, when a devotee will go near, attracted by these beautiful bhajans, वो उनको चूस लेंगे, उनका पैसा हड़प लेंगे. They will try to take benefit of it. I was just talking last week to one Mataji. She said, I was in a search for the truth. मैं भगवान की खोज में इतने साधु संत बाबा जी के पास इंडिया में घूमती रही. मुझे सत्य का ढूंढना था कि ये है क्या, भगवत मार्ग है क्या, और मुझे बहुत जगह पे बहुत बेनिफिट उठाया. One Mataji was telling me, they tried to take my money, they tried to do all sort of things. And इतना अच्छा कथा करेंगे, इतना sweet भजन सुनाएंगे, ज्ञान भी बोलेंगे. But when people come, they try to take the benefit of them. पता है? Have you heard in the news in India? Very common. And the Krishna says, this is how Kali Yuga is. That's why very important to be in the authorized association, in the bona fide sampradaya. Otherwise, this Kali Yuga is full of cheaters and cheated people. सुना है? होता है ना इंडिया में, people take benefit even though big kathakar. This is happening. So very important like this. Okay. Second, कौन था? भीमा. क्या देखा उन्होंने? There were 4 wells full of sweet water overflowing, but बीच में खाली है. Krishna says, this is how Kali Yuga will be. Rich people will have so much, but amongst those rich people, उनके पास इतने पैसे, इतना बड़ा घर होगा, इतने bedrooms होंगे, इतना गाड़ी होगा, सब कुछ होगा, इतने कपड़े होंगे. But among them there will be poor people on the street. उनके पास पहनने के लिए कपड़ा नहीं होगा. बीमार है, कोई बच्चा बीमार, उसकी माँ बीमार होगी, उसके लिए दवाई नहीं होगा, उसके पास पैसे नहीं होंगे, कपड़े नहीं होंगे, खाना नहीं होगा. And this is what Kali Yuga is, Krishna says. Have you seen like that? Everywhere. India. Especially in India we see rich people, कितने बड़े घर होते, कितना bank balance. I just heard today one person had in Bangalore today morning, I mean when I was giving this Gujarati class at 2 a.m. someone mentioned Bangalore में 500 करोड़ का उसका net wealth है, real estate, he is a big tycoon. 500 करोड़ का. He has no child, and he is living in a 3-bedroom flat, they were telling. But outside his house there are people who have no medicine. Just imagine, the child is young, mother is sick, लेकिन उसको इलाज करने के लिए पैसा नहीं है. Reality or no? Tell me. होता है ना, खाना नहीं है मदर्स को बच्चों के लिए, घर नहीं है, बारिश हो रही है, ठंडा होता है, ये सब. And this Krishna is telling, 5 wells overflowing with sweet water, but there will be the well with not even a single drop of water. अभी अदानी का, अंबानी का, किसका शादी हुआ था 1-2 साल पहले? Someone is gifting the islands in the marriage. Heard that story? Huh? Giving the island as a wedding gift. So, and people here have no place to live. This is what Kali Yuga is. Third one, कौन था? Sahadev, Nakul. What did he saw? Baby cow. The mother cow licking baby cow out of love. इतना प्यार करती मदर, इतना प्यार करती है, उसकी स्किन भी स्क्रैच हो जाती है, ब्लड भी आ जाए. इट्स एक्चुअली इंजरिंग द बेबी, बट mother keeps on licking. Krishna says, this is how Kali Yuga will be. Parents will love child so much. इतना प्यार करेंगे, इतना प्यार करके इतना स्पॉइल कर देंगे कि बच्चों को इंजर्ड कर देंगे. That means, have we seen parents giving iPhone to 3-year-old babies? पूरे दिन ऐसे, हाँ? And वो बच्चा 3 साल का तो ट्विंकल ट्विंकल लिटिल स्टार देखेगा, लेकिन जैसे 13 टीनेज में आएगा वो क्या देखेगा? बाबा ब्लैक शिप देखेगा. वी नो. एंड 3 ईयर से 13 ईयर ओल्ड में पूरा दिमाग का तो क्या हाल हो गया होगा. सो दिस इज जस्ट वन एग्जाम्पल. देयर आर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ अदर एग्जाम्पल्स वेयर the rich people or the people they love so much, not only rich, even normal people we are talking. इतना मेरा मुन्नू, मेरा चिंटू, मेरा बंटी, मेरा मोंटू, मेरा बेटा तुम्हें ये खाना है, बेटा तुम्हें ये चाहिए, हाँ मेरे बेटे को कोई कुछ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. And they love so much, they actually spoil the kids and they actually injure them for their future. किस में इंजरी किस में होगी? इतने भौतिक सुख दोगे कि there is no spiritual. उनका spiritual possible ही नहीं है development होना, because they are fully engrossed with materialistic things. Possible? And this is what Krishna is telling. And the fourth one was Sahadev. What did he see? Big boulder falling from the peak of the mountain. सब कुछ रास्ते में crush कर देता है, but the small plant, छोटा सा, it stops the big boulder. What does it signify? Krishna explains to four Pandavas that the character of people in the Kali Yuga, just like that builder, इतनी जोर से गिरने वाला है. People will do the things. You know, the character is falling down like anything. होता है, we see लोग कैसे कपड़े पहनते हैं, कैसा बोलते हैं, कैसा खाते हैं, कैसी जगह पे जाते हैं, क्या करते हैं. You just see outside the world of devotees. क्या क्या होता है. You know, कि छोटे की just for the one property, the person is killing other. एक भाई दूसरे भाई की हत्या कर देता. अभी इंडिया में आता है वो टोल बूथ पे, जस्ट गवर्नमेंट मिनिस्टर और मिनिस्टर का बेटा है, वो उसको टोल मांगता है और बोलता है तू जानता है मैं कौन हूँ, तू किससे टोल बूथ पे टोल मांग रहा है, उसको शूट कर देता है. देखा है न्यूज़ में ये सब. दिस आर द न्यूज़ इन द न्यूज़पेपर कम्स. यू नो दोस्त, लोगों का कैरेक्टर इतना जोर से, इतना फास्ट, तेजी से गिरने वाला है. बट दैट लिटिल प्लांट जो भक्ति में जुड़ने वाला है, द वन हु हैज टेकन द शेल्टर ऑफ कृष्णा, द होली नेम एंड भक्ति, भगवद गीता, स्क्रिप्चर, श्रीमद् भागवतम, वो ही कैरेक्टर इतना तेजी से गिरने से बचा सकता है. अदरवाइज नो चांस. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट to take the association of scriptures, holy name in a right mood, in a right association. Otherwise, even a person like that bird singing bhajan bhi karega, lekin can't stop character falling.
स्वरासुपौत्रा विनयिनां आत्माना सुसमां गुणै तोयानि पतिं भूमे अभ्यासिंच गजाह्वये. Translation. Thereafter, in the capital of Hastinapura, he enthroned his grandson, who was trained and equally qualified as the emperor and master of all land bordered by the seas.
So thereafter, in the capital of Hastinapur, he enthroned his grandson. Parikshit Maharaj is enthroned as the king. Yudhishthir Maharaj is retiring, the Pandavas are retiring, Parikshit Maharaj is. Why this is mentioned by Sutta Goswami? Because remember the question asked by the sages, describe the birth and activities of Parikshit Maharaj. The birth of Parikshit Maharaj, we saw the full chapter, how Yudhishthir Maharaj arranged, so many astrologers came, charity happening to Brahmana, big festival, we already attended. And then after this, the activities of Parikshit Maharaj. The activities of Parikshit Maharaj को बताने के लिए, now he is coming to the point that Parikshit Maharaj is enthroned as the king. ठीक है? Now, at that time when Parikshit Maharaj was the king of the, he was the king of the whole world. The whole world was ruled by one king, you know, that age. But slowly, the Kali Yuga progressed. The kings, the potency also reduced. The citizens were also very loyal. Thank you. So nice. कितना अच्छा बच्चा है ना? Thank you so much. Slowly at that time, Parikshit Maharaj was king of the whole world. Kali Yuga progressed. जो राजा धीरे राजा का जो potency है, the virtuous king was there, Raj Rishis was there, that got also deteriorated. And the citizens, they were also very loyal to the king. And that's why he was able to, the king was able to rule the whole kingdom, because they were also very loyal and spiritual. But slowly with the influence of Kali Yuga, that also deteriorated. So now we see how different the world is divided into different sections, different states, different countries, and there are different ministers. But at that time, it was ruled by only one king, and Parikshit Maharaj became the king of the whole world. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the last line, this is, even though Kali Yuga is progressing, even though the world is divided by different rulers, and even though these people who are ruling the world, they are not devotees, but there is a special prerogative of this age. There is a special blessing in this age. What is that? The person can still become Krishna consciousness. भगवान को वो प्राप्ति कर सकता है. Person can chant even in this world. ऐसा नहीं है कि राज ऋषि होगा, परीक्षित महाराज रूल करेंगे तभी citizens spiritual devotee ban पाएंगे. It's not like that. Prabhupada writes the last line of the purport that even though the king, the rulers are non-devotees, but there is a special conditioning given to all the people of the world. The person can still take the benefit of bhakti. Prabhupada writes that. 39. Radhika Mataji.
Mathurayam tatha vajram Shurasenapatim tatha Prajapatyam niropyeshtim Agnim apivad Ishvaraha. Then he posted Vajra, the son of Aniruddha, grandson of Lord Krishna, at Mathura as the king of Surasena. Afterwards, Maharaj Yudhishthir performed a Prajapatya sacrifice and placed in himself the fire for quitting household life.
So Yudhishthir Maharaj is posting Vajra, the son of Aniruddha, grandson of Lord Krishna, at Mathura as the king of Surasena. So Parikshit Maharaj को establish किया, इनको दूसरे अलग अलग एरिया में अलग अलग kings to look after different sections. Of course, not every detail is mentioned, but the important thing what is mentioned here is he quitting the household life. That is the important learning point from this, that he is quitting the household life. Prabhupada writes in this purport also, everyone must arrange the life in such a way that the person can devote the last stage of life in the absolute devotional service of the Lord. Prabhupada writes that. And he writes, no one should neglect this. Non-negotiable. No one should neglect this. Why? Because as long as the mind is absorbed in material things, a person cannot reach to the spiritual world. जब तक संसार में रहेंगे, संसार का attachment होगा, a person cannot reach to the spiritual world. And that's why there should be some stage in our life where we are completely absorbed in spirituality. And not only at the end of the life, but even during our day also. During our day of 24 hours day routine also, there should be some time in our life where we are completely absorbed in that. And that's how when we do that, we would be able to do this what Yudhishthir Maharaj did, that absorbed in Krishna. And at the final moment, we can meditate on Krishna and we will go back to the spiritual world. Okay? Number 40 and 41 we can do together. Who wants to read? Anyone? Aditi Mataji. 40 and 41 together.
Text 40. Visarja tatra tat sarvam dukula valahyadhikam nirmamo nirahankara sanchayine shabandanaha. Translation: Maharaja Yudhishthir at once relinquished all his garments, belt and ornaments of the royal order and became completely disinterested and unattached to everything. Text 41. Vacham juhava manasi tat prana itare chatam vrityab apannam sotra sargam tam panchavehi ajohavit. Translation: Then he amalgamated all the sense organs into the mind, then the mind into his life, life into breathing, his total existence into the embodiment of the 5 elements, and his body into death. Then as pure self, he became free from the material conception of life.
Thank you. So here, Maharaj Yudhishthir at once relinquished all his garment, royal order. He relinquished all his garments, royal order, and his belt, his ornaments, everything. And he became unattached to everything. Prabhupada writes in the purport that people are generally attached to the various kinds of designations. What kind of designations? Designation of a family, society, country, occupation, wealth, position. So many different kinds of attachments are there. And unless a person becomes unattached to these things, it is very difficult. So Yudhishthira Maharaj at once gave his royal dress and garments and everything and got sannyas cloth. It is mentioned here, he took sannyas. And sannyas cloth means indicating freedom or detachment from everything. And that's why the hair, brahmachari, because hair is the biggest attachment. How I look, how people will think about me. When someone joins brahmachari ashram, first thing is, the hair is gone. Or in grihastha also sometimes happens. Not because of the attachment is gone, but too much attachment and too much of stress, everything is gone. Here, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was doing, he was ruling the world as a duty, and that's why he was able to renounce at once. See, how come Yudhishthira Maharaj was able to renounce everything at once? Because जब वो rule कर रहा था, he was ruling that as a matter of duty. भगवान की सेवा के लिए. Krishna established the Pandavas. It was Krishna's desire for Pandavas to be the king, not out of his own personal ambition to become the king. But it was Yudhishthira Maharaj's seva bhav. That's why he was ruling. And because he was ruling as a seva bhav, he was able to detach at once from this. In our life also, practical application, learning point is if we are also doing our daily activity, whether it could be earning money, job, family duties, home task, work, obligations, everything. If we are able to perform that in the seva bhav as a duty, then just like Yudhishthira Maharaj at once was able to renounce, at the last time of our life, at the end, we will also be able to detach ourselves from all these things. अगर हम सेवा की भावना से करेंगे. But if you are attached to family, house, car, finance and all these things, then we would not be able to detach. और last moment पे वही याद आएगा. And that is what the practical learning point. Srila Prabhupada many times says that it is internal consciousness is very important. For a devotee, internal consciousness, हम जो भी करते हैं, गृहस्था, Prabhupada says, गृहस्थas are गृहस्था sannyasis. Sannyasis mean detached. Grihastha sannyasi means people are internally detached, but they are doing their duty very nicely. They are doing their duty, taking care of kids very nicely, taking care of partners very nicely, taking care of finances very nicely, as a matter of duty. हम भगवान की जब सेवा करते हैं, ये देखो इतना अच्छा सेवा के लिए करते हैं तो कितना सुंदर होता है. In the same way, if we are living our life as a duty, we will do it very nicely, much better than a materialistic person is doing for himself or her own self. We can do even nicer way. And then when the time comes, we are able to detach as well. होता है ना? Alright, let's go 42 and feel free to raise hand and share. आपको कुछ add करना है. If I'm missing anything, please feel free. 42 and 43 we can do together. Who wants to read? Yes, Priti Mataji.
Sarvam Atmani Ajubhay Bhavid Brahmani Atmanam Abhyaye, thus annihilating the gross body of five elements into the three qualitative modes of material nature, he merged them in one science and then absorbed that science in the self, Brahman, which is inexhaustible in all circumstances. Chira Vasa Mira Haro Baddha Vanmukta Murjadha Darshayam Atmano Rupam Jadon Matta Pishachavat
Anveksha mano nirgada ashraman vadhiro yatha. After that, Maharaj Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods voluntarily, became dumb, and let his hair hang loose. All this combined to make him look like an urchin or madman with no occupation. He did not depend on his brothers for anything, and just like a deaf man, he heard nothing.
बाप रे, देखो what is Yudhishthira Maharaj doing? Like a dumb man, mad man, hair loose, and renounces everything at once. कर सकते हैं क्या? Urchin, does anyone know what urchin? Has anyone seen sea urchins? Google sea urchin photo and you will see how his hair will be and how he looks. That's a pura. Like a bird's nest. Sea urchin is there. Here, see, we see that how Yudhishthira Maharaj distributed his kingdom to Parikshit and Vajra. If Yudhishthira Maharaj wants, he could have stayed in the palace. अच्छे से ध्यान रखेंगे. He could have nicely in the royal retire ना, अच्छे से पैलेस में रहते हैं, सारे ब्राह्मणास है, भजन कीर्तन होता है, मेरा सारी नेसेसिटीज भी मीट हो जाती है. I am able to nicely stay and भजन कर सकता हूँ. He could have done that. Then why it was necessary? All his spiritual devotionary requirements would be nicely done in the palace. Yes or no? Then what was the necessity for him to renounce? क्यों जाना है? On top of that, another question comes. Is it better to renounce and take sannyas and go away, or is it better to rule and make sure everyone becomes devotees? Himalaya पे जाना, it will come. I don't know, अभी आ गया कि नहीं. He goes to Himalayas, goes towards the north. Should we go to the Himalayas or should we preach? क्या करना चाहिए?
Prabhu, in this case, previously Narad Muni had instructed him, instruction मिला था उनको कि जब भगवान जी जाएंगे तो तुम भी चले जाना. He is following the instruction.
Yes, very good. Because it was the instruction from Narad Muni, and then he was following. He said, you can rule until Krishna is there. That means when Krishna has departed, you also retire. So this was one of the instruction of Narad Muni. That's why he is doing this. Second reason, Prabhupada mentions in the purport that to detach from all these things, it's necessary so that a person attaches to Krishna. जब तक ये सब से attach रहेंगे, then the person will not reach Jivan Mukta stage. Jivan Mukta means completely free to dedicate himself or herself for Krishna. And that's why complete detachment is necessary for complete attachment. Another reason mentioned is he has already ruled for 35-36 years. And after that, he established Parikshit Maharaj. तो उन्होंने, he has already made sure that the people of the whole world are following nice devotional spiritual practice. And after that, when it's the time for him to focus, he takes this sannyas. He is behaving like this and he is completely meditating on Krishna. अभी हम देखें प्रभुपाद की लाइफ में 1977 नवंबर प्रभुपाद left this planet. कोई अक्टूबर में प्रभुपाद को आके पूछता है, कोई बोलता है अब तो सन्यासी हो, आपको तो पूरी वर्ल्ड में ट्रैवल करके प्रचार करना चाहिए, आप वृंदावन में क्यों ऐसे हो? Why are you not traveling? कैसा क्वेश्चन है ये? He has done. He has traveled, he has preached, he has done whatever at 100 times more than what a person can do. Million times more, he has already done it. And now it's the final time. And then he's absorbing in Krishna Katha. He has traveled all around the world 13 times. And then he is coming to Krishna. अगर कोई आके उनको बोलता है कि why are you in Vrindavan? You must be traveling. अरे उन्होंने पहले क्या किया वो तो देखो. In the same way, Yudhishthira Maharaj, some people will say, why it was necessary to go to Himalayas? Why can't you preach? आपको इतने बड़े महान हो, आप preach क्यों नहीं करते? आप क्यों making sure नहीं करते? But he has already done it for many years. He has established Parikshit Maharaj also, and now he is going to Himalayas. After that, yes,
Prabhuji, Mahaprabhu also showed the same example in his life. In Antya Lila, he was completely absorbed in bhakti. Preaching नहीं कर रहे थे.
Yes. And Very good. Mahaprabhu also made sure this. And it was, on top of that, it was Krishna's plan. Krishna did not want Yudhishthir Maharaj to stay and preach devotional service to everyone. And so that everyone will become devotee. Krishna wanted the Parikshit Maharaj and Sukdev Goswami pastime to happen, Bhagavatam to come. So that preaching was part of Parikshit Maharaj and Sukdev Goswami, and that's why it was a plan of Krishna for Yudhishthir Maharaj to go to Himalayas and behave like this. Okay? Very nice. 44. Who wants to read? Yes, Shrivant?
Prabhu, एक question.
हाँ बोलो. Yes, माता जी.
Like, जैसे कि युधिष्ठिर महाराज को went to Himalayas, but Parikshit Maharaj listened to Bhagavatam. He knew 7 days. He didn't go to Himalayas.
Yeah.
So the things were changing because इससे पहले अगर हम देखते हैं तो जो क्या नाम था उसका धृतराष्ट्र went to Himalayas, left the body like that.
Correct.
So is it the effect of the Kali Yuga which is they are trying to show what is happening?
Very good point. Yudhishthir Maharaj went to Himalayas. Dhritarashtra went to Himalayas. Parikshit Maharaj sat and heard Bhagavatam. Kali Yuga is progressing. What is that learning point for us? What we need to do at the later stage of life? Preaching. Prabhupada says preaching is the essence. What did Prabhupada show? Yudhishthir Maharaj का देख लिया, धृतराष्ट्र का देख लिया, परीक्षित महाराज के लिए. प्रभुपाद का डेथ बेड पे लास्ट वीडियो देखा है सबने? We shared in the group. What was he doing? Preaching. So Prabhupada is showing हमारा क्या है? When preaching will happen, when we can do this? जब हमें पता चलेगा कि ये कलियुग ये दुनिया में इतना भयंकर तरीके से बढ़ रहा है. And how we started this talk, people are actually suffering in this world. लोगों का बहुत तकलीफ है. आप इंस्टाग्राम फेसबुक में देखोगे, फेसबुक प्रोफाइल में हंसते हुए कोई बाली घूमने गया है फोटो लगाएगा. इफ समवन इज स्माइलिंग सूट बूट में, कोई पार्टी में, वेडिंग में, ड्रेस में. दिस इज ऑल इल्यूजन डियर डिवोटीज. सबकी लाइफ में आप एक स्टेप अंदर जाओगे, देर आर hundreds and hundreds of challenges, struggles and problems in everyone's life. Don't look at this outside illusory world. गुजराती में हम किसी को बोलते हैं केवु छे बस मजा में. क्या चल रहा है हिंदी में? बस शांति है. हाउ आर यू? आई एम फाइन. एब्सोल्युटली 100% बकवास. नॉनसेंस, कंप्लीट नॉनसेंस. किसी को पूछो ना, माय बिजनेस इज हैविंग अ फुल ग्रोथ एंड इज गोइंग नाउ, 100% बकवास. People are struggling. Of course, business would be growing. Business might be growing. Personal life में problem होगा. Personal life में everything is going. तन, मन, धन और संबंध, 4 में से 1 में तो प्रॉब्लम होना ही होना है सबकी लाइफ में. And when we see that people are suffering, devotees are compassionate, and that's why preaching is essential. हमें सबको बचाना है, सबको भगवान के साथ जोड़ना है और ये भौतिक जगत से बाहर ले जाना. We have to take people away from this world. Connect the lost child to the Supreme Father, to Krishna. That is the only way we can save. And to do that, कैसे कर पाएंगे? How can we do the most important duty? We don't have to go to Himalayas. We don't have to take sannyas. The most important duty is to preach. When can we preach? When we ourselves know the knowledge. When we have practiced. हमने जब माला किया होगा, हमने सेवा किया होगा, हमने शास्त्र पढ़े होंगे, then only we are able to help others. Otherwise we can't. That's why it's very important. वो कैसे होगा? भक्तों के संग में होगा. Very important to be in association of devotees. If someone says मैं अकेला कमरे में बैठ के भगवत गीता पढ़ूंगा या पढ़ूंगी, नहीं होने वाला है दोस्तों. It's just not possible. We have to be in the association of devotees. Even to get rid of this anarthas, lust, anger, greed, pride, हमने कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, वो कौन बताएगा हमें? भक्ति बताएंगे. हमारा कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा वो क्लियर कैसे होगा? हम भक्तों के संग में when we are associating, then only it will happen. कमरे में बैठ के गुफा में जाके हिमालय में जाके करोगे तो लस्ट, एंगर, ग्रीड, प्राइड, मैडनेस, इल्यूजन, ये वो है. ह्यूमिलिटी है कि नहीं पता कैसे चलेगा? हाउ डू वी नो? That's why it's very important association of devotees. And why Krishna has done this arrangement? Because Krishna loves his devotees so much. So Krishna has I have a shop. If I have 10 staff, I will give the key of my shop to the person who I trust the most. isn't it? मैं किसी ऐसे वैसे किसी को नहीं दूंगा. Only the person who I trust, who I love, I have full respect, I will give the keys of my shop. In the same way, Krishna has given the key of bhakti to his devotees, because Krishna loves his devotees and devotees are loyal to Krishna. That's why the key of bhakti Krishna has given to his devotees. And if we go away from that, we are not going to get the bhakti. Always stay in the association of devotees. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Huh? Very important, dear devotees, association of devotees. किधर आए हम? कौन सा नंबर था? 44. Who wants to read?
He was reading.
Oh, he was reading. तो मैंने read नहीं करने दिया.
मैंने नहीं read.
Sorry. वो बीच में क्वेश्चन आ गया. So sorry, Shrivan. 44.
पिता पूर्व महात्मा ब्रह्मा परम ध्यायन् नगार्ते तथोगता. Translation: He then started towards the north, treading the path as accepted by his forefathers and great men, to devote himself completely to the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he lived in that way wherever he went.
He lived in that way wherever he went, in the thought of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He started towards the north. Why did Yudhishthira Maharaj started towards the north? Because that is what he was trained for, and he was following the footsteps of his forefathers. His forefathers did that. He also followed these footsteps. Practical learning point, learning lesson for us. We also have to follow the footsteps of our acharyas. And our acharya is Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. And his mood, his footsteps following means his preaching mission to connect the lost souls to Krishna. And we also have to follow the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, our Vaishnava acharyas. And that is what they are doing. And we have to follow that. He was trained for that. He was following. We are trained for this, and we have to follow this. Abhi, I just met one devotee Tuesday, 4-5 दिन पहले. Someone came and told me, I won't name it, but he said, Prabhu, my father left 3 years back. My mother left 2 years back. My wife left recently. And being in Australia, my son also went with his girlfriend. मैं अकेला बचा हूँ अभी. It has been a very stressful and very hard times last year. कभी नहीं सोचा था. And on top of that, job भी गया. On top, and he was telling me कि सब कुछ ठीक. Father है, mother है, wife है, बच्चा है, सब कुछ है, job है, everything. And in 3 years, फटाफट. That mother is gone, father is gone, wife is gone, बच्चा is gone. अपने अपने जिंदगी में what are we doing? We are busy in our own life. बच्चा भी गया. And he said it's very stressful. It's very hard. And dear devotees, if we don't detach, if we don't learn how this Yudhishthira Maharaj is connecting with Krishna, what is it said here? He lived the life in the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we are not attaching to Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if we are thinking कि मेरी लाइफ में ये नहीं आएगा, तो so sorry to say this, but this is only an illusion. सबकी लाइफ में ऐसा सिचुएशन आने वाला है, and this is the harsh reality. One by one, people will go away, relatives will go away, jobs will go away, finance commitments will also go away, our own health, our own body will stop cooperating, old age आएगा. So many doctors are there, इधर problem, lung stops working, kidney stops working, ये stops working, इतना problems आने वाला है. At that time कहाँ जाएंगे, किसका सहारा लेंगे हम? The best doctors, the best financial bank का bank balance कुछ काम में नहीं आने वाला. Only Hari Naam will come and help us. And that's why when things are right, when there is an opportunity, it's very important to learn from this Yudhishthira Maharaj's pastime and get attached to the holy name and absorbed in Krishna. If we don't, intelligent people will act now. Don't drag it till the last moment. Prabhupada writes, don't drag it when the Yamraj is coming and dragging you out of the body. तब तक attachment बना के मत रखो. यमराज विल कम एंड ड्रैग यू आउट ऑफ द बॉडी. तब भी मेरा बच्चा, मेरा घर, मेरा गाड़ी, मेरा बैंक बैलेंस. 1 मिनट यमराज, मेरा नेट बैंकिंग का पासवर्ड मेरे बेटे को दे देता हूँ. 1 मिनट यमराज, यमदूतास 1 मिनट. मेरी वाइफ को बोलता हूँ कि मैंने सीक्रेटली इधर कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट किया रखा है. डोंट वेट टिल द लास्ट मिनट. सब कुछ अटैचमेंट छोड़ना है. एंड वी वॉन्ट टू completely absorb in Krishna. Very important. 45. Let's move on. Who wants to read? Just raise your hand or read. Yes. करो कोई अपने सब हम एक जैसे हैं. हम साथ हैं. मूवी नहीं, भागवतम की बात कर रहा हूँ.
The younger brothers of Maharaja Yudhishthira observed that the age of Kali had already arrived throughout the world, and that the citizens of the kingdom were already affected by irreligious practice. Therefore, they decided to follow in the footsteps of their elder brother.
Thank you. So the younger brothers of Maharaj Yudhishthira, बाकी सारे पांडवास भी observed the symptoms of Kali. Kali Yuga has arrived. उन्होंने भी देखा क्या हो रहा है कली युगा में. Parikshit Maharaj was ruling. He is established. So all other Pandavas, the younger brothers also, they followed the footsteps of their elder brother. They also followed the footsteps of their elder brother. They also observed the age of Kali has begun. What is the learning point? Practical application for us for this verse. हमने भी देखा है ना कलियुगा कैसे बढ़ रहा है. इफ़ यू जस्ट डील विथ समवन, कोई लोगों के साथ ट्रैफिक लाइट पे, ट्रैफिक सिग्नल पे 1 सेकंड हुआ नहीं, लोग इतना हॉन्किंग शुरू कर देते हैं. इफ़ यू हैव टू डील विथ समवन, सम मैनेजर और वर्क कलीग, छोटी सी बात में भी कितना रिएक्शन आता है. इवन एट होम विद द फैमिली मेम्बर्स. Whenever we observe these signs, बच्चों के साथ how they talk to the elders, the way I have talked to my father, do we think our kids are talking to us in this way? What are this? When we observe the way the wife have talked to their husband, our grandmother would have talked to our grandfather. Do the family relationship are like this? In both the ways. It's not only one-sided. Both the ways. टीचर्स के साथ हमारे स्कूल में हैव वी एवर थॉट ऑफ एड्रेसिंग द टीचर विद द नेम? अल्बर्ट पार्क स्कूल की बात है. आई एम टॉकिंग, यहाँ से 4 मिनट दूर स्कूल है. ग्रेड 7 में बच्चे ने अभी इट केम, किड्स स्लैप द टीचर. टीचर ने कुछ बोला, पुलिस आई थी, छाटा मार दिया टीचर को. वॉट आर दिस थिंग्स डियर डिवोटीज? ग्रेड 6 या 7 या हाउ मच वाज इट? 6-7 मत बोलो, 6-7 का ट्रेंड चल रहा है कुछ. वो प्रिंसिपल को ही मार दिया, बाप रे. What are these things, dear devotees? These are the signs of Kali Yuga. And इधर क्या हो रहा है ये देखो. When you read this translation of the verse, Pandavas observed the signs of Kali Yuga. They followed the footsteps of his elder brother. When we observe the signs of Kali Yuga, ये सब क्या हो रहा है? People are getting, who said? Preeti, you said, someone 40 to 43-year-old got a heart attack or something and passed away recently. Suddenly, I know one of my neighbor, my age, we were in the same class. Suddenly, gone in 1 second in the car while going somewhere. ये सब क्या हो रहा है? When we observe this, we understand Kali Yuga is progressing so fast and we have to follow the footsteps of elder brother, means follow the footsteps of Acharya, means becoming serious in bhakti. माला करने का, भगवत गीता पढ़ने का, भागवत का श्रवण करने का, भक्तों का संग करने का, भगवान की सेवा करने का. Please dear devotees, don't find an excuse. एक्सक्यूज फाइंड करने के लिए तो 1000 बहाने मिलेंगे, लेकिन इफ वी आर एक्सपर्ट इन फाइंडिंग द एक्सक्यूज, फाइंड एक्सक्यूज. हाउ वी विल डू इट? कुछ भी करके, कैसे भी एडजस्ट करके. ईशिता माता जी इज हियर, शी सेड प्रभु जी आई कांट मेक इट. प्रीति इज हियर, ही सेड प्रभु जी आई कांट मेक इट. आई सेड मैं भगवान को प्रार्थना करता हूँ, देखते हूँ आप कैसे नहीं आते. एंड दे आर हियर. थैंक यू सो मच. सो दिस इज इट. To find a reason for not coming, there are 100 reasons. But somehow we have to make it happen because Kali Yuga is progressing. Prabhupada writes in the purport that 432,000 years are going to be for Kali Yuga. अभी तो 5,000 साल हुआ है and कितना तेजी से बढ़ रहा है. कोई लोग सोचेंगे if person thinks that क्या है, ठीक है ना, अच्छे से माला हो रहा है, अच्छे से भागवतम पढ़ रहे हैं, से हो रहा है, नेक्स्ट लाइफ में फिर से डिवोटी के घर पे बाउन करेंगे, फिर से कंटिन्यू करेंगे. डू वी इवन नो 25-50 साल बाद ये AI एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स, हाउ मच स्ट्रेसफुल द लाइफ वुड बी. सो इट इज़ फॉर आवर ओन इंटरेस्ट, अपने स्वार्थ के लिए, अपने सेल्फिश पर्पस के लिए वी हैव टू बी utmost highest priority should be given to bhakti, topmost priority. Yes, Mataji.
You just described before that how Krishna sent all Yudhishthira and the brothers to
Different directions, huh?
and explain what would be the symptoms of Kali Yuga. But is there a reference to what would be the symptoms of the peak of the Kali Yuga?
आप पढ़ नहीं पाओगे. In Bhagavatam, which canto it is? 12th canto. If you read, बताओ highlight.
Is it that Vatarni Nadi?
हाँ?
The reference to that?
क्या होगा? Sorry to say, it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. आपके पास है ना भागवतम? मैं आपको ट्रेलर देता हूँ. मूवी मत पढ़ना, रो पढ़ोगे. It is said, धीरे धीरे pollution बढ़ रहा है. We know how the land pollution, air pollution, everything is happening. Instead of raining water, there will be acid rains. And because of this acid rains, the plants, vegetables, everything will not grow. There will be scarcity of vegetarian food stuff. So people will be forced to eat meat because कुछ बचा नहीं. उसके बाद क्या होगा? Animals भी बचेंगे नहीं. Parents will eat their own child because कुछ बचा ही नहीं होगा. इतना बुरा आने वाला है. अभी तो 16 माला करके हम जाने वाला है. आगे जाके प्रभुपाद सेड दिस गोल्डन पीरियड विल स्टे ओनली फॉर 10,000 ईयर्स. उसके बाद नो हरे कृष्णा, नो भगवान का नाम, नो टेम्पल, नो सेवा, कुछ नहीं बचेगा. आई ईट यू, यू ईट मी, सिर्फ क्वारल होगा बस. इतने सारे न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब्स बनाए हैं, क्या लगता है यूजलेस जाने वाले हैं. द वर्ल्ड इज गोइंग टू बी सो बैड, वी हैव नो आइडिया अबाउट इट. इट्स गोइंग टू बी सो क्रेजी एंड दैट्स व्हाई डोंट थिंक दैट एक जन्म नहीं तो दूसरा जन्म क्या हो जाएगा. इट्स गोइंग टू बी वेरी हॉरिबल. क्या क्या होगा वो सब लिखा है उसमें. एंड वी डोंट वांट टू वेट फॉर, एंड दैट्स व्हाई ये जो माला करना है ना, व्हेन वी think of the importance of chanting, why we have to chant, why we have to associate with devotees like this, why we have to come to Bhagavatam, why we have to wake up 6:30. क्या 6:30 को लॉग इन करना है, 7:05 को लॉग ऑफ करना है. किसी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा तो 7:10 हो जाएगा, क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है. लेकिन हमको किससे बचना है. What kind of things we are being saved by logging for 35 minutes in the morning. Do we even know the benefit of? कृष्णा ने तो इतना आसान बना दिया है. उसके बाद क्या होगा 10,000 के साथ बाल. इफ समवन सेज, क्योंकि भगवान का नाम सुनना इतना दुर्लभ हो जाएगा. टू हियर लॉर्ड कृष्णाज नेम, इट विल बी सो हार्ड दैट इवन इफ वन सेज कृष्णा वंस, इवन इफ यू हियर कृष्णा वंस, ही विल इमीडिएटली गो बैक टू गॉड हेड कृष्णा. Because the same hardship we are observing now to follow 16 rounds, it will be even harder to even hear Krishna's name only once. इतना दुर्लभ हो जाएगा because people will be materialistic. और वो हो रहा है ना. अब जाओ काम पे, जॉब पार्टीज, क्रिसमस पार्टीज, गैदरिंग्स, ये फ्रेंड्स की. Do we hear Krishna's name once? People are busy. So that's how durlabh it is. Only within devotees. This Prabhupada said when he started this Hare Krishna movement, 10,000 साल तक ही चलेगा. 432,000 years Kali Yuga है. बहुत बुरा समय आने वाला. Don't delay. फटाफट भागो. Prabhupada said, just like a child, if the child is aiming for distinction in the examination, that child is guaranteed to pass. जो फर्स्ट क्लास हायर डिस्टिंक्शन पे एम करता है, मेहनत करता है, पास तो गारंटेड हो जाएगा. इन द सेम वे वी हैव टू मेक द गोल इन आवर लाइफ दैट वी हैव टू गो बैक टू गॉड हेड. कृष्णा के साथ यही जन्म में जाना है. इफ वी कीप दैट गोल, एटलीस्ट विद इन 1 or 2 लाइफ, इट्स गारंटेड वी विल बी गोइंग. And Prabhupada said that if you do 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex and no gambling, and if you chant 16 rounds, it's my responsibility. I will take back to you to Krishna. Krishna, फ्रंट डोर से नहीं तो पीछे डोर से भी मैं तुमको अंदर ले जाऊंगा, मेरी जिम्मेदारी है. इतना गारंटी देते. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sarvam vraja aham tam sarva pape bhyo mokshashami ma sucha. सारे पाप में से मैं तुम्हें मुक्त करूंगा मां सुचा. Do not doubt. I give you the guarantee. Prabhupada has given the guarantee. Krishna has given the guarantee. कौन इंटेलिजेंट बंदा होगा जो वो गारंटी को नहीं गारंटी कार्ड नहीं लेगा? who is that? So we have to do it. Is in our own. Sorry to scare you. आपने प्रश्न पूछा, मुझे भागवत में से आंसर देना था. चलो next move on. 46. Yes.
ते साधु कृत सर्वथा ज्ञात्वा व्यन्ति कमात्मः आत्मनः मनसा धार्यम् असुरा वैकुण्ठाचरणं भुजम्. Translation: They all had performed all the principles of religion and as a result rightly decided that the lotus feet of the Lord Shri Krishna are the supreme goal of all. Therefore, they meditated upon his feet without interruption.
The Pandavas, it is mentioned, they meditated on his lotus feet without interruption. How the Pandavas could do this? Because they had performed all the principles of religion and as a result of rightly decided. क्या decide? उनको क्या पता था? The lotus feet of Krishna is the supreme goal of life. The lotus feet of Krishna is the supreme goal of life. उनको पता था when they have performed all the principles of religion, and that's why they were able to do it. It is not easy for a person to understand that the lotus feet of Krishna is the supreme goal of life. People think to have an investment property and a sound portfolio is the supreme goal of life. To get married to a beautiful girl or a handsome boy is the aim of supreme goal. To get high position at workplace, that is the supreme goal. People think all these different things. To have a nice retirement plan, that is the supreme goal of life. But in reality, to understand that Krishna is the lotus feet of Krishna is the supreme goal is not easy. When can one have? जब वो मेहनत करेगा. See, here it is said, they have performed all the principles of religion. जब वो मेहनत करता है तब जाके वो conclusion दिमाग में बैठता है कि yes, Krishna is the supreme goal. Then when it comes, मेहनत तो करनी पड़ेगी. It is said ना, no pain, no gain. If we don't try, we will not come to that conclusion. And that's why to take the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna is very important. हम जब आरती करते हैं, you would have seen when we offer candles or pujari doing आरती, we offer 4, 2, 3, 7. भगवान के चरणों में 4 बार करेंगे. 4 lotus feet of Krishna. Why? Because we are offering. I think Arjuna Mata, you sent me message once. What is the significance of 4, 2, 3, 7? When we are offering aarti, we are offering aarti to lotus feet of Krishna. That means we are offering dandavat pranams, offering obeisances from all the 4 sides to the lotus feet of Krishna. In our mind, absorption. From all the 4 directions, we are offering dandavat pranams to the lotus feet of Krishna. When we do 4, 2 to the nabi, to the navel, that means Krishna is the source of both material and spiritual creation. That's why we are offering our obeisances, pranams to both material and spiritual creation. When we do 3 on the lotus face of Krishna, that means Krishna's face, lotus face, is most beautiful on all the 3 planetary systems: upper planetary system, lower planetary system, and middle planetary system. Krishna's lotus face is the most beautiful, and that's why we offer 4, 2, 3. And also it signifies we conquer by offering aarti, by offering obeisances to the 3 times to the face of, we conquer 3 modes of material nature: satogun, rajogun, tamogun. Mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. We conquer these 3 modes by offering aarti on 3 times to the lotus face of Krishna, and 7 to the whole body. 7 to the whole body of Krishna. That means the 7 continents or the 7 layers of this world, or Saptadvip, और 7 समंदर, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, 7 oceans, 7 continents, and all this, the 7 layers, earth, water, air, fire, ether, the 7 oceans. When we offer 7 times around the body, we are circumambulating, Krishna's body 7 times. We are offering our obeisances to that. ठीक है? 47 and 48 together we will do.
Can I
Yes, Aditi Mataji.
text 47? तत्रानुदिक्तया भक्त्या विशुद्धाधीशना परे तस्मिन्नारायणापदे एकान्तमातयुगतिम् आवापुर्दूरवापान्ते अशाद्भिर्विषयात्मभिः विधूतकालमाशस्थानं विराजेनात्मनैव हि. Translation: Thus, by pure consciousness, due to constant devotional remembrance, they attain the spiritual sky, which is ruled over by the Supreme Narayan Lord Krishna. This is attained only by those who meditate upon the Supreme Lord without deviation. This abode of the Lord Krishna, known as Golok Vrindavan, cannot be attained by persons who are absorbed in the material conception of life, but the Pandavas, being completely washed of all material contamination, attained that abode in their very same bodies.
What happening here, dear devotees? Pandavas also achieved the spiritual abode of Krishna in the same spiritual bodies. Just like Krishna went to spiritual world in the same body, Pandavas also went to Krishna in the same spiritual body. Why? Prabhupada writes that because they were in constant devotional remembrance of Krishna. Constant devotional remembrance of Krishna. What do we learn from this? Prabhupada writes that it will not happen to the person who is having material consciousness, who is absorbed in material things. It will happen to the person who is constantly in devotional remembrance of Krishna. वो constant, the learning point, practical application for us, वो क्या है? Constant devotional remembrance is very important. भक्ति वृक्षा में ब्रेक होता है, दिसंबर जनवरी 2 months, भक्ति भी ब्रेक हो जाती है, भक्तों का संग भी ब्रेक हो जाता है, चैंटिंग भी डाउन हो जाता है. धीरे धीरे आई वॉज टॉकिंग टू वन ब्रह्मचारी, वेरी क्या बोलते हैं, 25 साल से, इज not in Melbourne, somewhere else. 25 years he is being practicing. But he said, when I am in my temple associating with devotees very nicely, सुबह उठ के 4:30 to by मंगला आरती, chanting 5 to 7 में chanting हो जाता है. But I went to India for 1 month and I went to my home and I realized that in the evening, while sitting with the family, while talking with them, I was completing my 16 rounds. Somehow or other. Hota, it has happens to us that when we are in the association of devotees, everything is going nice. And when we have a little bit of break, things starts going little down. Hota? And this is what it is. Prabhupada says here, constant, strong devotional remembrance of Krishna that ensures us the result. And that's why, it's our duty to make sure we are situated in the association of devotees. Break hota hai. See, Bhakti Vriksha break is there, but that doesn't mean we just break our bhakti, break our cycle of chanting. We associate with YouTube. इतने अच्छे lectures है, इतने अच्छे recordings available है, प्रभुपाद के purports है, our family members are nice devotees. If we are not able, just for certain reasons, if Bhakti Vriksha is stopped, we can associate with family members. We can come together, do kirtan. We can cook together, offer bhoga to the Lord. We can come together and chant. We can discuss some words, open up. So nice. We don't have to go look far. Recording is available. Fortunately, YouTube's so nice, the facility is provided. Only the person who is in constant strong devotion, वही break नहीं हो पाएगा. And that is required to ensure the desired goal. And that is what we learn. The Pandavas achieved that. Prabhupada writes that the Pandavas achieved that because they were constant devotional remembrance. Prabhupada writes a few things in the purport that how it is practically possible for a person to go to the spiritual world in the same body. Not everyone have to आत्मा जाएगी भगवान के पास, शरीर इधर रह जाएगा. Not for everyone. Just like this example I have given, we can transform this place in a spiritual place. Yesterday there could be some other mundane program here, but now it's the spiritual program. This place is transformed. In the same way, this material body can also be transformed to the spiritual way. And that's why the Pandavas, they were anyway associated of Lord Krishna anyway. But it is possible, Prabhupada writes, it is possible for a person to go back. Who else was it? Dhruv Maharaj went. Dhruv Maharaj went, Yudhishthir Maharaj went, Pandavas went. In the same body, Lord Krishna went. It is possible. Why not? Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. And that's why, dear devotees, one very important learning point from this verse, practical application, that yes, हमारा साधना होता है, हमारा भक्ति वृक्षा में हम जाते हैं, टेम्पल में सेवा करने जाते हैं, भक्तों का संग करते हैं. On top of all these things, we should have confidential hearing. Confidential hearing, confidential reading. That means अपनी खुद की भी एक, जैसे ऑनलाइन हियरिंग करते हैं, I hear once in a day, I make sure I hear something online, and sometimes it's a theme. I Bhisma Stuti पढ़ लिया, some series of Bhagavad Katha from some speaker, some Maharaj का कोई seminar है from some particular topic about humility, humbleness, something or other, how to become serious in bhakti, importance of glories of Harinam, some kind of series. That is called a confidential hearing. सबके साथ में तो हम करेंगे ही करेंगे, लेकिन अपने आप में भी कुछ होना चाहिए. Either it's reading, either it's listening, anything. Because that will help us to stay in that continuation association whenever the outside thing stops. जैसे मंदिर में कभी लॉकडाउन हुआ था, कोविड में लॉकडाउन था, लास्ट couple of months back there was renovation going on. If my bhakti is only 100% depending on temple, then things like that, when I go to India, when this lockdown happens, वो तो पूरा टूट जाएगा. And that's why this confidential hearing is very important. Confidential reading or confidential something जो हम अपने आप करते हैं. Either it could be chanting extra rounds. It could be reading Srila Prabhupada's purports. It could be listening to YouTube lectures. Whatever it is. For a few minutes, we absorb into that. Very important. That will help us to stay continuous, constant devotional remembrance of Lord. Okay. Let's go 49. Yes, Prabhuji.
Viduro api prati jaya prabhase dehamatmana Krishna veshem tatchita pratibhi savakshem yayo. Translation. Vidura, while on pilgrimage, left his body at Prabhasa. Because he was absorbed in thought of Krishna, he was received by the denizens of the Pitraloka planet, where he returned to his original course. Hare Krishna.
Very good. So here, Vidura also while on pilgrimage left his body at Prabhas, and Vidura was also absorbed in the thought of Lord Shri Krishna. In one way, dear devotees, ये बहुत ही this is a sad section of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna is departing, Pandavas are departing, they are also retiring, everyone is leaving, Vidurji is also leaving. So in one side, सब कुछ जा रहा है इधर से. Krishna is going away, Kali Yuga is entering. कितना, this is sad. But on the other side, that this particular section of Bhagavatam, this particular chapter actually, is giving us so much of assurance that it is the remembrance of Krishna that ensures we achieve the ultimate goal of life. It's just the remembrance of Krishna. Everyone is living. See here, Vidurji is also living, but by the remembrance of Krishna, he is achieving the ultimate goal of life. Pandavas absorbed in Krishna. Abhi aage bhi aayega. Draupadi, Subhadra, everyone absorbed and achieving the ultimate goal of life. What is this? Giving us the assurance कि भगवान को हम अपने स्मरण में रखेंगे. If we are able to think of Krishna, we will also achieve success. So one side, yes, it is sad, but on the other side, it gives us so much of strength, so much of assurance that yes, if we are able to think of Krishna, we will achieve that. Very nice. And this gives. Yes, Mataji?
Vidura, but he said, mentioned we went to Pitraloka.
Why Vidura went to Pitraloka? Who was Vidura? Remember we discussed? in case if someone's camera was off and they were sleeping and not listening to Vidura's pastime, I will mention again. Vidura was Yamraj. And because there was a curse of Manduka Muni. Remember what the pastime? There was one sage, the Manduka Muni, when he was a child, he pierced an ant with the sharp grass. छोटा बच्चा था, पता नहीं था, ऐसा ही कर दिया. When he goes to the Yamraj, Yamraj उसको punishment देते हैं. And the Manduka Muni says, मैं तो छोटा बच्चा था, as a childish act I performed this. I didn't know, but you are giving me harsh punishment. So Manduka Muni curses Yamraj that because you are punishing me like this, I curse you that you will also take 1 year. As Vidurji, he is son of a, क्या बोलते हैं उनको? Son of a maid servant. He has to live in 1 year in this earthly planet. So Vidurji was actually Yamraj. And then this 1 year finished. So Vidurji goes back, takes the post as a Yamraj again. And why this pastime happened? Why this Manduka Muni curse and Yamraj is devotee of Krishna? Why this has to happen? Because Yamraj के association से Dhritarashtra perfects his life. So importance of association of devotees. Dhritarashtra का भी perfect liberation होता है. Why? Because of association of Vidura. Do we see the importance of association? भक्तों का संग कितना महत्व है? And then we say, प्रभु जी आज थोड़ा तबीयत खराब जैसा है, मैं भक्ति वृक्षा में नहीं आ सकती. हाँ, कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है भक्तों का संग. देखो, विदुर's life is transformed. अभी प्रभु ने बताया नारद मुनि's instructions. नारद मुनि कितने के गुरु भागवतम में? ध्रुव महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, so many. Because of the association of devotees, so many life is transformed. What was that hunter's name? Narad Muni's association, the hunter became Mrigari the hunter.
So my doubt is like why he can't go to Golok Vrindavan, why to become like, because any of our people are still in the material world.
Yes, so that is why everyone has a responsibility given by Krishna. Actually, Prabhupada writes in next 2 purports that how we will see in the purports. Prabhupada writes in the next chapter also, 16th chapter, Prabhupada writes that how Yamraj is a pure devotee of Krishna. And Prabhupada writes that Yamraj likes to be called whenever kirtan is happening. Yamraj is the god of death. It is his duty to punish people and he is the god of death. But when a person can be saved from death? When he invites Yamraj. Prabhupada writes, Yamraj is the god of death. But if a person wants to save from death, himself or herself from death, then you invite Yamraj. And Yamraj loves wherever kirtan is happening. And why? Because Yamraj comes. Or jahan Yamraj hai, death can't come. Why? Because that person goes back to Krishna. Here what happens? Yamraj Vidurji se association se Dhritarashtra perfected his life. So, death किसका होता है? What is the definition of death?
Change of body.
हाँ, death हो सकता है क्या? शरीर वैसे भी क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ, is what is that word? English word? The body is dead anyway. It doesn't have consciousness. Huh? And Atma तो नश्वर है. Atma can't be dead. So body is already dead. Soul can't die. So what is the death? And that's why, if you understand very beautiful, the Prabhupada mentions in that when someone is doing kirtan, when someone is absorbed in Krishna, he is already in the soul platform. And that's why there is no death for that person. Because body is gone, he is already acting on soul platform. And he invites Yamraj for kirtan. So there is no death for that person. Kitna sundar hai na? So nice Prabhupada explains all these things. Text number 50. Yes.
द्रौपदी च तथा ध्याया पति नामपेक्षितं वासुदेवे भगवती एकांतं तीरापतमा. Translation: Draupadi also saw that her husband's without. He is not letting me read.
Riyansh wants to read. Riyansh, you read. Vacha.
Draupadi also saw that her husband, without caring for her, were leaving home. She knew well about Lord Vasudev Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in thought of Krishna and attained the same results as their husbands.
कैसे हस्बैंड है विदाउट कैरिंग फॉर द वाइफ दे जस्ट लेफ्ट ऐसा आता है ना ऐसे ही चले गए बस सारे पांडवास दे जस्ट लेफ्ट विदाउट टेलिंग her विदाउट कैरिंग फॉर द्रौपदी दे जस्ट लेफ्ट Prabhupada explains in the purport very beautifully. Each one of us have to fly our own aeroplane. When the flight is in the air, no other flight can help. अगर airplane हवा में है, if there is some problem, can someone from other airplane fly? Each one of us have to fly our own aeroplane. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that full training, full guidance can be provided when the flight is on the ground. After that, एक बार ऊपर चले गए, फिर we are on our own. In the same way, Prabhupada writes, the full training, full guidance was provided to Draupadi. And when the husbands left, all that training, all that guidance, based on that, she also perfected. And Subhadra also. The name is not mentioned in the verse where Prabhupada writes. It is to be understood that Draupadi and Subhadra, they also perfected. Prabhupada writes, each one of us have to fly. One cannot take care of another aeroplane while flying. Everyone has to take care of our own aeroplane. Help and guidance is provided while we are on the ground. In the same way here, all husbands left home without caring for Draupadi, asking her anything. But because the guidance was provided, because the training was provided, she was well trained, she knew exactly क्या करना है. उसको पता था exactly क्या करना है. And the husbands also knew what she will do. She is perfectly trained. Draupadi also knew. She concentrated her mind on the lotus feet of Krishna and she got the same result as the husbands. Draupadi got same result as the husband. Subhadra got the same result as the Pandavas. So nice, na? Full training. The importance, practical learning point from this verse is the training, the guidance. We have to come to that particular stage ki when we are on our own. कभी कभी वर्क प्लेस में जाते हैं ना, वी आर नॉट सराउंडेड बाय डिवोटीज, प्रोबेबली वी मे नॉट बी, वी आर सराउंडेड बाय क्रिसमस पार्टीज विद सम पीपल अराउंड, वी गो टू इंडिया फॉर 1 month टू मीट द रिलेटिव्स, वी मे नॉट बी इन द भक्ति वृक्षा सेटिंग, we may not be in the temple setting, we might be going to attend some marriage or something, but if we are well trained, the guidance we have received, then we are able to perfect our life. We will be able to fly our own aeroplane, otherwise crashing हो जाएगा. That's why the training and the guidance are very important. ठीक है? Let's do the last one, 51, my most favorite verse of this chapter. Who wants to read? Krishna Prabhu? जोर से. Just like you are calling your wife. That's how much loud you can read.
Are we doing Sanskrit or Hindi?
Sanskrit. Telugu, Tamil अभी नहीं.
Yashraddhaya tat bhagavat priyanam पांडुसुतानाम इति संप्रयाणाम श्रृणोति अलं स्वस्तिययन् नाम पवित्रं लब्ध्वा हरौ भक्तिमुपैति सिद्धि. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The subject of the departure of the sons of Pandu for the ultimate goal of life, back to Godhead, is fully auspicious and is perfectly pure. Therefore, anyone who hears this narration with devotional faith certainly is the devotional service of the Lord, the highest perfection of life.
Bapre, look dear devotees, anyone who hears this narration with devotional faith, certainly, assurance is given by Lord Sri Krishna, certainly gains the devotional service of the Lord and attains the highest perfection of life. किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? All those devotees, all of us who are hearing this narration with devotional faith gains भगवान की भक्ति, devotional service प्राप्त करेंगे and the highest perfection stage of life. कौन बोल रहा है ये? Sutta Goswami is speaking. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the first canto, 15th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Pandavas Retire Timely. Thank you so much. We end the 15th chapter here. All right, open to your questions, reflections, suggestions, additions, comments. कितना सुंदर है ना भागवतम. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, Pitraloka is one of the upper planetary system, but Yamadharma, like it's not the taking care of hell and like at the bottom.
Mataji is saying Pitraloka is upper planetary system. Yamraj is not taking care of lower planetary system, Patal Loka. पता है आपको?
I unrelated, but when Yamraj came, then Aryama, who was a Pitra, he was taking care of that I remember. It's a bit related. Aryama take care कर रहे थे ना जब यमराज इधर आए थे. He was the Yamraj, acting Yamraj. But माता जी उसको अपना ड्यूटी पूरा करना पड़ेगा. उसको ध्रुव महाराज also went after, है ना? So there's two things I remember. एक तो है कि जब अभी आप जो काम कर रहे हो करने के बाद ही, और second thing is these devotees they don't care. इधर रहेगा उधर रहेगा.
But my doubt is Yamadharma is like
Okay, so Mataji's doubt is where did Yamraj went? Upper planetary system or lower planetary system? The important learning point, Vidur ji kahan gaye, Yamraj kahan gaye, that is one side of the story. The important thing to learn from this is wherever they are going, they are devotees of Lord, they are doing devotional service of the Lord. हम कहाँ जाएंगे, हमारा क्या होगा, that is more important. Maybe during the break we can find out. But Prabhupada in Vrindavan, in America, wherever he is in all around the world, what is more important? Not the location, but consciousness. Is doing devotional service. So Yamaraj, either, I don't know, if someone knows you can tell.
No, is Yamaraj a post or it's the person? So if it is a post, that person is done that duty and then he will go to Krishna later on, Mataji. So he was just, kind of for 1 year he got the retirement, sort of, punishment था. But उसके बाद तो वो यमराज बन गया अपना जो भी पोस्ट थी. उसके बाद तो he go back to Krishna's post. Because he's Krishna's devotee.
It was not, I discussed, did we discuss? It was not a punishment for Yamaraj. Because Yamaraj का बहुत ही, it was a hard, किसी को, as a lord of death, कितना hard post है, and Yamaraj has to punish. So it was mentioned in that pastime when we discussed. So many, Prabhupada writes, so many people are doing so many wrong things. So Yamaraj is always busy in punishing. लोगों का इतना बुरा चल रहा है, इतने बुरा, he is always busy. But devotees का mood क्या होता है? संग में रहना, किसी को preach करना, किसी का उद्धार करना. Punishment थोड़ी devotees का mood है. So when this Manduk Muni cursed him, he was so happy कि मैं जाऊंगा, अभी थोड़ा मुझे भक्तों का संग करने का, preaching करने का मौका मिलेगा. And that's why he comes as a Vidurji and he liberates Dhritarashtra. You see that? So Yamaraj is I don't know, post. Someone can find out and break के बाद हम discuss करेंगे. I don't want to speculate if I don't know. But considering that is a post, because Aryama took that post. Vidurji came here. See Yamaraj, of course.
सारे demigods की post होती है.
Correct.
इंद्र कोई भी बन जाएगा ना.
Yes.
So that means all these are the posts. Varuna भी post है, लेकिन all these are posts in that case. So Yamaraj is also post. So आज वो है फिर कोई और होगा.
Is wife a post or a person? Wife is post or a person?
ये तो आपको बताऊंगा.
क्यों? Post, isn't it?
Life is a post for a person, that's a person.
Correct. Same thing you can understand with Yamaraj now. Chalo, any other question? Or any reflection? Any important point? I know we are all waiting for Prasadam. We can start setting up if you want.
आरती का बहुत अच्छा बताया. इतने दिन से हम लोग कर रहे हैं लेकिन पता नहीं था.
आरती का बहुत अच्छा बताया. माता जी saying 4, 2, 3, 7. Thank you so much. Thanks to Aruna Mataji. She asked the question. Then I started.
ये क्वेश्चन ना 2 साल पहले जो शायद सर्कुलेट हुआ था, and I forgot about it. जैसे होता है ना, मैसेजेस हम सेव नहीं करते. तो इस बार